Hello and welcome. This is Hellway. I'm Octavio, the developer of this lovely game you're gonna see tonight or in the morning, doesn't matter. I'm here to talk about so this is the first video of 3. This video is gonna just focus on talking about the cores of the gameplay and how this game was tuned in visually. So just talk about the gameplay, mechanics. The second video, I'm gonna talk about all the options and variations because there are 64 of them. But there are also all variations on the core gameplay. So once you understand the core gameplay, it'll be really easy to explain the variations. Should be a really quick video. And the third video will be about developing for Atari and all the joy that this process brings to you. It was a really fun experience. So let's start from the beginning. So you see in the hood, the display shows you three things on top: the distance you travel, how much time you have left, and the speed you're currently in. That also can be inferred by the side of the road. Also, it's a visual feedback of the speed you are in. These things is hexadecimal, because we are all big nerds. That's true. If you're playing an Atari game, what are the chances? You're a big nerd, so you're probably more comfortable with hexadecimal than decimal. But there is something to this design choice. First, what you're seeing is like the internal variables of the game, and even though I could use decimal mode, this would make this variable play very, very badly with the game. And if I just convert it on the fly, this will spend a lot of CPU cycles. But in the end, I have the CPU cycles to spare, and I still decide to go with hexadecimal. It's so nice that the timer and the speed can fit in 2 digits. The distance that you travel can fit easily in 4 digits. And actually, there is even a hidden 50 digit that this separator will turn into if you overflow these 4 digits. So yeah, so for you to actually overflow this thing, you need to play like for 3 days, and probably gonna be in the hospital at this point. So please don't play this game for 3 days straight. Really, I don't want to be responsible for your death. Play safe. So about the core of the gameplay mechanics. The first thing you probably have saw that you start green. And every checkpoint you turn green. So this gives you a brief period of invincibility. So I lost this window of opportunity here, but this is all about giving an opportunity to just go as fast as you can. But you have to keep in mind that this invincibility is going to be over. So it's also about stopping at the right moment and not crash when this invincibility is over. So this is such an important gameplay mechanic that I actually play 2 audios. So one audio right before a checkpoint that gives you the opportunity to just accelerate the car the maximum you can. And while you're invincible, there's an audio that go to a higher and higher pitch. And then it's over. So it's give you a audio feedback when this thing is going to be over. Yeah, and also plays a big risk reward mechanics here. So you are given. So ideally, you want to enter the next stage with the maximum speed, so you can take full advantage of this mechanic. But by doing so, you take a huge risk of crashing just right before you enter the checkpoint. So if you crash right before you enter the checkpoint, you completely waste the time you have to do exactly this that you are seeing on the screen right now. You completely waste it because then you use all this time to just accelerate. So it's bad. Each road so about the gameplay. So each road have its own speed, and they are completely independent, and they are completely deterministic in a sense that the same cars you see that you pass in each track. If you stop, they're gonna pass through you again. So the non-random cars are going to pop up. This is important. And the second thing You see? Okay, just want to talk about this. You always have space. If you see a space, you can pass. You can pass through. There's always this minimum of space that can take this. So yeah, so each road runs with its own speed, and of course, for each track, you're gonna see the same cars if you stop, but of course, the combination of each track is gonna change a lot depending where and when you saw it, because each one's running on the independent speed, and the permutation, the variations of the position of each one's going to be, of course, completely changes, even though the cars on each is going to be the same. So this game is not about speed per se, it's about consistency. So, for example, let's start here. So this is the first difficult, and this is not exactly difficult per se, because when you have less traffic, I also give you less time on each checkpoint. So I expect you, and if you want to keep your timer, I expect you to be way more aggressive when there's less cars. So this reflects much more reflex-based gameplay. And the more and more traffic you have, the more and more this becomes about finding the windows where you can overtake the other cars, because each road, each traffic line has its own speed, and windows of opportunity, they're going to form and they're going to disappear. So, and you can manipulate the board to make them appear and to use them this is good. At the right place, at the right moment. So braking is as important as accelerating. So I have some friends that gave me feedback. Oh, sometimes I'm stuck behind cars. I have no way out. No, you brake, you build. Yeah, I could make this, by the way. This was my mistake. So continue. So you brake and you create your windows of opportunity. You see the tracks align, and you create a path for you, right? So it's all about manipulating speed, accelerating, braking, and there is a reason the brake is so aggressive. So the brake is really fast, because then you can be really aggressive and go really fast, and with good reflex you can brake at like the very last moment, and gives you the possibility of being more aggressive. But this was fine-tuned for this. But then a guy from the Atari Age forums named Pat Brady, I think it was him, giving the feedback the brake was too strong. But after several gameplays, I still had to make this brake strong. But because of his feedback, I actually made 2 brakes, because brake is so important that you have 2 brakes. So if you brake while accelerating, you brake with half of the speed, and this is actually essential. Not essential, you can actually do everything with the single brake if you tap really fast, but this helps a lot for things like this, like to actually align your speed with the speed of the track, and to have a more fine-grained control of your braking while giving you the possibility of being aggressive. This was my mistake. I think I could do it. So the other thing about the gameplay is that I forgot, but yeah. So yes, the this is a single take thing. I'm watching this video and just talk what pops up my head. So the separation between tracks, they are the maximum I could make. So I'm gonna be a little bit technical. This game have pixel perfect collision, because basically I'm using Atari hardware registers that they set flags when you try to draw 2 things at the same place. And this pixel perfect collision, your car is 8 pixels wide. The traffic lines, they are 7 pixels apart, meaning that they have the maximum distance between them. that you cannot pass through with your 8 pixels car, but gives you the maximum of space while you are changing tracks, not to make a mistake and collide with the other track because you move the 2 pixels more to the left or to the right. So this gives you a little space to breathe, and also allows you to be more aggressive, since you don't have to worry so much of this perfect landing. It's gonna come natural to you. And the second thing that the first version didn't have, the first version actually could go all the way to the left or to the right and hit the sides of the road. But this was just on the way of the gameplay and make you worry about stopping going left or stopping going right. So now the game doesn't allow you to crash with the sides of the screen, give you the opportunity to be even more aggressive and to put the controller all the way left and all the way right. So that's just what the gameplay. So one last thing, the audio is not perfect of this capture for some reason, and I couldn't make it perfect. So that's the best capture I could make at this point with the the Xbox required bar, but the audio is a little bit off. But you're gonna see when you actually get the game. If you decide to play it, it's always free. It's always going to be free. I'm gonna only charge for the physical copies, in which I'm gonna donate all the money. So this is more of a shared thing, because I really enjoy doing this. I want to spread this enjoyment. But the digital version is going to be free. So what you're seeing here, this is another really important gameplay mechanic. The time is over. I cut the engine sound, and this was not okay. I still didn't make the sound. No, this was deliberate. After experimenting with several stuff, just cutting the audio gives you this sense of loneliness, this sense of, oh, my engine is gone, this buzz sound. That's I've been through, has been with me all the gameplay. It's suddenly gone, and then you have to glide, and your speed will be slowly decreasing when your time is over, but you still can make to the checkpoint, while your car is slowly. I was too greedy on there. So while your car is slowly decelerating to make to the checkpoint, and when you do, and if you do, you're going to get your engine sound back and the checkpoint sound, and I'm gonna go like this, breathe, this fresh air. That's okay. I made it. So the lack of sound makes this more impacting, and make the impact greater. And so I think I'm not gonna make it this one. I'm not sure. See, that was the worst mistake I could do, to crash right before I went to this glide thing. It's over. Now I'm a dead fish. And then the game over screen that basically keeps your score on screen so you can compare with your friends, share on social network. So also I didn't talk a lot about the engine sound. He really tries to replicate a car accelerating with gears. So this but it's not trying to be too realistic, because I was going to get to a higher and higher kind of pitch. And so but it tried to give you the sense of, hey, I'm racing with a car, This is Atari. That's I think the best I could do. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned the next 2 videos, which I'll be talking about all the options of the game, and if you are considering buying this game or playing this game. So like I said, the digital version is always going to be free. The source code is open. Maybe it's important to get this overview. It's a well-documented manual, but to get this overview of what each thing actually does and how it really affects your gameplay. And a third video with the delights of programming for Atari, the challenge, and this will be really nerdy. Thank you for watching, and I hope to be with your guys soon. For the 10 people that watch this video to the end, for the 10 nerds that stick to the end, yeah, thank you. You made my day. I'm really glad you are here watching this video. Goodbye. Have a nice day.